Okay, welcome back. This is now number 18. It's one of the hardest ones I've come across so far. Out of the first few rows, there's a couple left, but here is number 18. What we need to do is we need to get 4 numbers in and draw the rectangle. And so the 4 numbers have the x coordinate, the y coordinate, what I call the a and b coordinates, or the length of the rectangle and the height of the rectangle. And so you've got 4 numbers you need to deal with: x, y, a and b. Okay, the width and the height of the rectangle. So now here's how I went about it. This first box is a splitter. It spits out the y values onto this side. So that's y and y plus b, because they're the ones that we need to deal with. And then this one sends the x and a values over to this side. This box, his role is to send the correct y value over to this box. Okay, so for example, the first rectangle starts on 2310, this corner, and then we need to draw a 4 by 5 rectangle. And so the y values that we need to be involved are 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14 down this way, and 15. Okay, so this sorts out the correct value and sends it across. This box, he sorts out the x, y, and a values and sends it down. And this is, I guess, the storage unit. It stores 3 of the numbers, and I manage that by storing 1 in the accumulator, 1 in the backup, and 1 on this right box over here. And so I'll show you how that works. And this bottom one is to plot each of the boxes. Once it gets to the end of a line, it sends a signal up here, and up here it sends all that data back down to plot the next line. And that's how it works. So let's step you through it. Alright, so the coordinates, x value 23 comes in here. Now I put this accumulator here because I wanted to flip the y and the b values and spit them out backwards so that this has an easier time handling them. So 23 is now stored on this side pocket here, over here. Okay, so move. Yep, so 4 goes over on this side, and then the y plus a value, sorry, y plus b value comes down here as well. So we've got 14, and we've got a plot from 14 down to 9. That's this row. Okay, so what's happening here is I've got a counter, because I only want to loop it 5 times before I come back to the base and take the next box out. Okay, so after this goes to 0, we start plotting the next box. We come back to the start, we get the new 4 pieces of data, and then we send it through again. There's a counter, so now you can see the y value that we are starting to plot is on line 14. Okay, so let's have a look. We grab the coordinates of the, we grab the y value, send it down, then we send the x value down, and then we send the number, the a value, how many lengthwise we need. So now it starts looping and it plots it until we do the right number. Then it goes back up here, move 1 up. That will tell this box to keep to cycle again. So now we go back to R, and over here we send through the x, y, and a values downwards again. Sorry, y and then x and then a, and that's labeled down here. So this time the y value would be 1 higher. It would start sending 13 down, and the x and a values are still the same. So then it keeps plotting that next row above, and it goes up until the count goes to 0. Then it will start on the next box. So I'll just fast forward this part. Have a look. So right now a 0 goes through, that tells this machine to start from the start. Okay, so after this is done, we now check if it's 0. It is 0. So now we send we pull this number out of here, out of our storage, and we chuck it, and then it goes from the start again. Okay, so now since that happened, this machine starts all up again. This starts from the start again. So everyone is now pulling new values, and we start the whole cycle again. It's kind of pretty. So for this solution, we plotted from the bottom upwards until the square's done. Then we draw the forward inputs again, and we plot the next box. That's kind of how it works. Alright, let's see how we went. In terms of cycles, just below average, but we used less nodes, and it was a relatively simple solution, and so we didn't have to use too many lines of code. So there it is, there's number 18.